All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to today's live stream. I had some news events early this morning that we'll briefly go over. Today I have Zenith Alerts, Raphael joining me. So we've got his screen obviously on the left here, and then my side on the right. All right, let's go over what we had for news earlier this morning. U.S. quarter four GDP grows below expectations. GDP was plus 1.4% versus 3% expected. Final sales 1.2% versus 2.6% expected. Consumer spending 2.4%. GDP deflator 3.7% versus 2.9%. PCE price index plus 2.9% versus plus 2.8%. Core PCE 2.7% versus 2.6%. Obviously, growth slowed while inflation remains higher. So inflation up, GDP down. Not the best of scenarios. Obviously, Trump stated that the government shutdown cost U.S. at least 2 points in GDP. One could make that argument. I don't know about 2 points. The U.S. sends largest warship towards Iran, so of course we're still having issues with the whole Iran, region. And then the Supreme Court just earlier ruled in reversal to Trump's tariffs. So that is a lot we have in refunds. Raphael, any thoughts?
No, I think you covered everything there.
Cool. All right, so just to briefly go over the positions I have. Obviously, those wolf calls just went for 130% earlier. Really big gains, and somebody mentioned, it came back down hard. Well, yeah, it's Friday. These are moving crazy fast. You got to trim, especially if it's over 135%. If you lost money there, you deserved to lose money there. If any of you have questions about certain charts or certain questions for Raphael, Zenith Alerts, go ahead and just put it in the chat room, and both of us can see it from there. And we'll take a look at it for you. But yeah, happy to do any charting or to look over any, company financials. Completely up to you if you have any questions. Really quickly, let's look over the opening range for today. We're sitting just outside the opening range at the moment. Nothing too big. Even the spike up from the Supreme Court, which is really odd that we spiked up from the Supreme Court to begin with. I would have expected to move down, right?
Yeah, probably just a little bit of liquidity grab, honestly.
And it's really odd because we're now chopping here outside the opening range. But I would not. I don't think this is bullish at all.
I don't either.
Yeah.
Today's also OPEX, so it's going to be a pretty choppy, whippy sort of day. So.
Yeah. JBLU put. Those were. I'm still in those. They kind of spiked up. But it's coming back down now. It spiked up over 6. They are falling though again, so not panicking there yet at all. Do we chop until 12:45? I don't know. What do you see?
It's a pretty strong possibility, honestly. I really don't expect us to break high days anytime soon. I'm looking at the GEX maps right now, and it's just they're all over the place right now. Like I said, I really don't expect us to break high day anytime soon.
And it's not a good sign too, because we did touch the R2 pivot. So, you start running out of breathing room to the upside once you hit R2. I always say that. So yes, still in JBLU. EPD. EPD was a lotto coming in from yesterday. It's down right now. It's bouncing a little bit. I'm still in that for a lotto in case we do make a run up to like 36.50 would be ideal. 36.55. It's still early in the day. We're not even an hour into market trading yet. Well, we're just about an hour into market trading. But I'm still holding these. I still have these. Let me go over the current positions right now. I still have the NU calls. NU is up 26% right now. Pen calls, pen runners are still up 72%. Block XYZ calls are still up 71%. Hood leaps are still up 7%. So, I mean, I'm still up on almost everything right now. I still have knee and I still have UPS. Thoughts on Oracle chart here for a short position?
Yeah, I actually charted that one just now. So for Oracle, I think a break below 151-ish. You can go short. Honestly, this resembles a little bit of a bear flag here on the 3-minute. But I think it's really just going to depend on the overall market. If the overall market just kind of chops around or starts drifting higher, I really don't think that Oracle is going to be a good short. But in the event that Oracle breaks below about 151.5, yeah, you could probably look short. I'm not sure what your time frame is on that. If it's 0 DTE, obviously that's going to be extremely risky. I'd probably go with next week's expiration if you do go short on that.
It's riddled with gaps. I mentioned this last week. It's riddled with gaps to the upside and to the downside. So obviously on a strong downtrend motion, but yeah, it wouldn't be worth probably possibly going long until we see a break over this trend line. Resistance, totally up to you. But I agree with what Rafael said. Let me take a look at KMI. I don't know why people are asking me if I'm still in KMI. I never took KMI calls for this week. Those were for last week. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure why. Knee, yes, I still have knee. Knee's actually up today. I want those, of course, break yesterday's high. One that I was looking at shorting was GLW.
Wilson Hang, I have URNJ pulled up right now. It's a uranium ETF. Obviously, uranium's a really cyclical sector, and it's really, really news dependent. Like if Trump is saying negative things about uranium one week, it's going to tank, and then if he's like, we need to use uranium for more nuclear plants, obviously it's going to go up. That being said, from a charting perspective, as long as URNJ holds above like 34.5, this trend line right here, you could probably take some longs off of that. Short term, obviously. This is on the hourly chart. If we go out to the day, still there. Yeah, it really needs to hold this trend line if you want to look for higher.
I never saw you get out of KMI. Well, the KMI expiration last week was for the 13th. I never entered KMI calls that were for the 20th. I never even took a KMI position that expired this week. That was a last week expiration. So even if you did hold those would have closed last Friday. Let's take a look at UPS. Oh, pull up Ondas, dude.
On Ondas?
Yeah, I want some Ondas thoughts.
Oh, okay. Let's go out here to daily.
But yeah, I don't have any KMI at all, for the record.
Ondas is at previous resistance on the daily. We came back down after the initial surge back up, came back down, filled this little gap. This was a long time ago. I haven't looked at the daily chart on Ondas for a while. I am a proud shareholder of this company. I have, I think, about 1,800 shares right now, average of $7.11, I think. So yeah, I'm bullish on this company long term, but literally I do not worry about it. Like, I hardly ever check the daily chart or anything like that. I just keep up with news and quarterly earnings to validate my thesis or invalidate it if that time comes. But yeah, that being said, we had that initial run up when it was all over Wall Street bets, all the way up to 15 bucks. Filled this gap here, chopped around a little bit, dropped back down to this previous area of, I believe it may have been all-time highs. No, not quite. But yeah, this previous area bounced around a little bit, and then we finally fell through. And right now we're back in that zone, potentially turning it into resistance. We'll see either today or early next week. We may close inside of this, or we may just reject, or yeah. But by next week for sure, we'll know if this is going to be short-term resistance. So in terms of entries, I probably would not enter here. If anything, I might sell some puts, sell the $10 strike. So I'd be happy to buy more or own shares at $10 cost basis, minus whatever premium you sold for, obviously. Or if you wanted to wait even further, maybe around the $8.50, $9 range, that would be a good spot to enter, in my opinion.
If we do break to the upside, how long do you think it would take to get to $16?
Ooh, if we break to the upside. Let me look at the heat map, see what's gamma exposure looks like. There's not too much going on to the upside. It would, if anything, it would just be a slow drift up without some sort of news, like a very, very large contract. Because Ondas recently has been getting a bunch of like little onesies and twosies contracts. They don't even disclose revenue allocations for those contracts, which kind of tells you that those contracts are probably pretty small in size, maybe a couple $1 million. But yeah, a big contract with the Department of War would shoot this thing to the moon very, very quickly. So 16 bucks would come probably pretty much immediately in the event that there is a government contract, which, as far as I know, they are eligible to receive those contracts from the Department of War directly. So literally it could come any day at this point. It's just a matter of if and when, in my view, at least.
They do defense drones, right?
They do defense drones, and one of their subsidiary companies recently acquired a suicide drone company out in Israel, I believe.
Tel Aviv.
So they are the all-in-one drone solution, or they're trying to become the all-in-one drone solution. So yeah, Ondas is my largest holding in my IRA. So yeah, I'm extremely bullish on this company, and we'll see what happens.
Can you share your trading view layout in chat with a URL link? Yeah, I can share that. If it'll let me. Copy link. Oh, I'm not hitting the... Try that. There, I sent it in chat. Could we get a cheaper banger play earlier today? Yeah, today will probably be riddled with like small lotto plays. I mean, like that Wolf play this morning. Wolf was at what, 0.19 this morning for calls, and they had that crazy pump up to 0.45. I think they even went a little higher. Anyone in UPS that played this 3 times, sold at 30%, got back in original entry. Nice. Very nice. One lotto I am looking at right now is possibly shorting GLW at around 140. We'll see. Kind of watching this one right now. 140 would be like R4 pivot. That would be really extended. I'd be really pushing it. Let's go back to the indexes. I mean, personally, I am staying away from the indexes for now, especially considering how choppy it is between this R1 and R2 pivot. It's really not worth going long or short here at the moment until we see either a break over R2 or break down back into the opening range, at which rate we need to break the 9 and 21 EMAs to the downside. Let's take a look at let's go in the video. Nvidia's barely up today. I wouldn't even really say it's green, it's flat. Let's take a look at Tesla. Tesla, same thing, flat. It's minus 0.1. So for the most part, if you look throughout the majority of the market right now, it's pretty mixed. Going over to IWM. Yeah, the Russell had that spike and then just came right back down to opening range. So all the indexes right now are sitting around like opening range and R1 pivot. So not really good enough to take a play at. Averaging down an EPD, no, that's just a lotto. I'm just gonna hold that. However it plays out, it'll play out. GLW is the one I kind of want to have a pullback. I mean, you'd agree with not playing with the indexes right now, right? Let's take a look at some GLW shorts for a lotto today. The 138 would be the ones I'd be looking at. Puts to the downside.
Yeah, I don't see any news for GLW, so this move is just random price discovery. GLW, that is.
daily. It's actually new. It's an all-time high, actually, on GLW.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Mm.
It's just overbought. That's the part of it too. Look at the MACD up here. If it starts curling down, then I just don't. I'm not buying this move. So I'll probably go for the 139. Trying to get filled on those. You got one filled at 110.
Man, the bid ask on these is crazy.
1.05 maybe. Nope. 110 might be the price. Yeah, it's 110. Okay. So it's 110. That's what I'm in at. Put that in the Discord for you guys. Yeah, the 139. It's a lotto, so go light. If you can't afford to lose, do not play it. I mean, it's Friday. Everything's a lotto. So that's the 139 puts for today at like 110. So we can do 1.05. Nah, it's 110. It's not good. Wait, I might be able to get filled here for 105. Got filled at 105. I get filled at 100.
Yeah, I'm trying fills at 1.
I don't think it gets above 140. That's just me.
Yeah, I'm gonna have my stop at 140.5 on these GLW puts.
Robinhood is showing it at 139. Yeah, you're looking at the it's showing you the ask. That's not the price you want to get it at. You need to do a limit order. Are you doing any SPY today? That's a question for Raphael. He trades SPX and SPY.
Right now we are trying to break high of days. There's a lot of resistance up here towards 69.15 and 69.20 on SPX. So yeah, you can. I would not take calls here. I don't think that the risk reward justifies it. If anything, I would look for puts in the 615, 620, 69.15, 69.20 range and target downside. I just don't see much continuation today. Today's OPEX and a lot of fake outs happen. So just be careful with whatever you do take. Obviously, I'll let you guys know if I do take anything, but for now, I'm happy to sit on my hands. Yeah, I mean, as you can see there, if you try to chase, you just got punished pretty hard. But yeah, that's the nature of playing SPX 0DTEs in general, and especially on a day like today when it's OPEX.
PG to 160. I think this one's been on like a really nice uptrend recently. Yeah, it has been. PG to 160. I'm assuming you're asking that for today. What you'd want to watch now is you follow the rules that I normally play, which is break of opening range, a possible retest, and then a climb to. And what's funny is actually the 160 is the R1 pivot to the upside. So if this does break and continue out of an opening range, the next spot for profit is 160. The spreads suck on GLW. Yeah. You just have to play with the limit order.
Yeah, right now on GLW, I have a limit buyout for $1. Obviously, that's below the bid, so it's very unlikely that I do get filled on that, but yeah, it just goes to show you have to place limit buys on these wide bid-ask options.
I don't have wolf calls anymore, by the way, for anyone wondering. That move is done. That was 135%. Short Qs. No, I'm not shorting Qs. Average on EPD. Nope. Qs at 609.
Yeah, Qs are breaking high day right now.
Yeah, but I still don't want to go long. Also, I'm not even sure why the market pumped on the Supreme Court news. Super wacky. It really doesn't make sense at all. I mean, we're up 1%. We were down, what, 0.7% this morning, and then we're up 1% on Supreme Court news. No, it's not even worth going puts here on the indexes yet. Let's see how NBIS, how do you say that? NBIS. See how that's doing today. I mentioned how this could potentially have a nice run up to 134. It's a nice dip today. See how Iron's doing. Iron is still sitting here in the low 40s. I think it may have a run back up to 63. Thoughts on a lotto put for Monday if the Iran war starts? Yeah, I mean, you can take a look at some of the lotto. Let's look at some Q's lottos, like to the downside. I don't know if do you think we hit Iran this weekend?
So last time, I believe when Trump went after Maduro in Venezuela, I believe that was actually on a weekend when the markets were closed, because Trump likes to do things involving the military over the weekends.
Yeah, because
so
he doesn't
the
want his
markets don't
market
get
affected.
spooked. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. So if people were betting on an Iran strike, it would probably be this weekend. So yeah, that being said, I probably will take some SPY lotto puts for Monday morning, and yeah, we'll just see.
It was fantastic. It was a great strike.
The biggest strike.
The biggest strike. No one's ever seen me strike. I ran like this before. No other president.
Where can I find Zenith trades? That is that my handle on X? I can't remember. Hang on.
No, your handle's Raphael.
Oh yeah. I'll post it in the Discord, Scott.
Let's see how UPS is doing. It's hanging out there. It's still green. Let's see how knee is doing. Might take another trim on knee. He said what, the 95 for the 20th.
It was the biggest strike ever. The market should pump.
Yeah, it was the 95 call on knee for what, the 20th? No, that's the Q. What am I doing? Look at the Qs. Where am I? Oh. March 20th, 95 call. They're sitting at a 118 average. I mean, that's still back where I originally trimmed, so not really worth trimming yet. Now GLW is just chopping.
Yeah, GLW looks about done in my opinion. We'll see though. Sometimes it's up 7% today. Sometimes he's just continue to go as anybody that was short just has to buy back on their position, especially before the weekend. Yeah, moves like this can definitely cause just continued buy side price expansion, but we'll see. Like I said, my stop personally is at 140.5 on these lotto puts. So still comfortably below, below that stop. Low key, honestly, I might average down here because, yeah, the bid ask is like wild right now. It's like 60 cents on these puts.
That's what I'm saying. Weird, dude. Trump said Iran has 15 days. I don't know. Maybe he'll change his mind and strike him over the weekend.
Yeah, put a limit buy-in at 0.9. See if I get filled.
It was so beautiful, more beautiful than anything in the universe.
Polypicker 57. My idea, I posted it in VIP. I'm not sure if you remember, but I can just give it to you. I would look for a short on SPX anywhere from 69.15 to 69.20. Stop over 69.25 and then target 6900 for a little pullback trade. It'll be a scalp. Do not plan on holding this for thousands of percent gains. Today's just super choppy, as you can see from the price action.
HYMC. Let's look at the... It actually had a nice bounce off the 50 here on the daily. However, Well, you know what? It hasn't fallen below. Let me turn off my pivots. See the last time it was below. Was that last year? Sheesh, that's a crazy run in the last year. What do they do? It must be a mining company.
You're talking about what company?
Highcroft, yeah, I nailed it. Highcroft Mining Holding. When I see massive stuff like this, I just know it was mining. 100,000x.
Yeah, Polypicker. So for GLW, both Clint and I are of the opinion that this move is just kind of just a random move. I mean, there's been literally no news concerning GLW. It kind of just tends to have these days where it'll just rocket up. But yeah, 140, we're kind of shorting. It's a psychological number, and yeah, it's just gone up on no news, and we figured it's just a good idea to short for a lotto. There isn't really too much of a thesis, but yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's just over. It's just overbought.
It's just overextended. Yeah, there's no real thesis. Like, oh, they had bad earnings, so we need to short this. Like, no, it's more so a lotto and just kind of a gut feeling that you get when you look at the charts long enough.
Now, if Trump strikes Iran during the market, I dropped my chart in the general chat showing SPX hit my sell side liquidity. Ooh. In Tesla, Corby's in Tesla calls. 412. How is Tesla looking? I haven't checked it. Tesla's actually still, it's climbing and making new highs on the day. Tesla is still sitting at that like 410 level that I drew out a while back. The MACD did cross over, but we're still below the zero line, so I don't know. It's just chopping right now with the rest of the market. I think it's like you mentioned. I think it's waiting for Nvidia earnings possibly.
Yeah, the market, in my opinion, the market's literally just going to kind of just do this chopping, range-bound behavior until Nvidia earnings pass and Trump does something about Iran, whether that's he acknowledges peace or he just strikes them. Until something happens with Iran and Nvidia passes, it's just kind of, it's going to just keep doing more of the same. Just this nice chop, which is enjoyable for everybody.
Yeah, like I said, I think the R3 pivot on the Qs might be like, I don't think we go any higher than 611 today.
Just real quick, the VIX is actually at one of my key levels that I draw on the hourly chart. We'll see if it holds here. But I mean, we're only about 10 points away from what I would enter, or from a possible short entry on SPX. So I wouldn't be surprised if this is a temporary top. We'll see.
PLTR looking at breakout thoughts. Yes, I hope it breaks out just so that Michael Burry's wrong. Realistically, Palantir can drop to actually the 120s, the mid 120s, even possibly the lower 120s before we see any major bounce. Here's that big head and shoulders I was talking about for a while. And then we did get that drop, that breakdown, and then it wouldn't be worth going long until we break above this trend line resistance or even the previous level that was holding as support for the head and shoulders, like 150. So if you want to start adding now, that's completely up to you. But I mean, it is risky, obviously. Oh, for an intraday breakout. Let me look at that then. I mean, this goes back to the whole opening range again. I mean, we did already break out of the opening range, but we only moved like $1 up so far. I always target the R1 pivot on a breakout, so I mean that would take us all the way to 137. But this goes back to like, excuse me. This goes back to like what we were saying earlier about the choppiness in the on the indexes right now. Unless we get more bullish volume, which I think we're running out of upside. But if we did, if bulls decided to be wonky and have a major push to the upside today, then we would see a move up to 137. We'll see, though. We'll see. I mean, don't get me wrong. The trend in the market right now is up. The bulls are in control, for sure, at the moment. While the rest of the market is pretty much mixed, I mean, bulls are still in control. What do I think about mRNA? Moderna. Had that nice bounce off the 50 EMA. So I think from here we could actually climb up to new highs, like 55, 56. That's probably what I would target.
Patrick, that key VIX level that I was talking about was 1884, and then below that it would be 1850. Right now we're literally at that key level. VIX is trying to hold on to it. We'll see if it does. If it doesn't, we're probably going to grind higher and toward my target on SPX of 69.15 to 69.20, and there I will enter shorts with a stop over 25. 69.25, that is.
Should I add one more GLW? EPD is going back up, by the way. Any of you that are still holding that lotto.
Yeah, the VIX is really trying to put in a bottom here at this key level. Which is a shame because I really wanted to short 69.15, 69.20 on SPX. If we don't get there, I'm not touching anything. That just offers the highest risk to reward for its trade, in my opinion.
What are the pivots that are high lows based on R1, R2 pivot? Those are they're based off of previous day levels. They're based on the movement from the previous day, and they act as pretty strong support and resistance points. I like to use them. I've had good success with pivots. I think I might add one more GLW.
Nice, Polypicker. You got better averages than both of us did.
WW.
Yeah, there's just a black hole of gamma exposure above 140 for GLW, so I think we may overshoot up to like 140.5, which is right around my stop. But I think this is literally about the top based off of gamma exposure. The second largest spot that I see is 132. I'm not saying we're gonna go down to 132, but there is a large concentration of dealer exposure down below spot right now. So shorts are still favorable in terms of risk reward.
Other plays.
Yeah, whoever was asking about Oracle earlier today, hopefully you didn't take anything, because yeah, it has gone literally nowhere ever since market open. Amar Patil, yes, I will be covering that tomorrow. I'm going to make an announcement in the Discord, but yeah, there will be a live stream tomorrow covering the basics for all the new people in the Discord, as well as, yeah, stuff like risk reward, charting basics, stuff like that. So yeah, stay tuned for that.
EPD is back above 3630. Cons are at 0.06. That's a lotto from yesterday. I haven't added to those at all. I'm just letting those ride. We need about, let's see, because we had that drop to 3605 and about a climb up there. Let's see if we rallied like another % or so. It put us at like 3666. Calls would be in the money. Okay, here we are at 140 on GLW. That's ridiculous. It's an 8% day on no news.
Yeah.
I'm going to add one more con. Because why not?
Yeah, it could be a good spot to average down, because the stop is very close. So, I mean, you might lose a few more bucks if you add and it does hit your stop, but
It's a lotto too, so you guys should all be very light in it anyways. Shouldn't be heavy.
yeah, the VIX did end up holding that level right here at 1884, which coincides with that slight little pullback there on SPX. But the SPX has also turned 6,900 into a floor, so I'm looking for higher still. And like I said, 69.15, 69.20 is where I'm going to go short.
Shouldn't, but gamblers be gambling. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, exactly. We're pretty much like weathermen. It might rain today, it might not.
There's a good chance we could see rain, but there's also a chance we couldn't.
Yeah, Patrick, we're in the 139 puts.
I'm gonna go put this on X.
Polypicker, the stop on GLW was like 140.5. If you're feeling particularly gambly, then you could probably push that up to like 141. But personally, I'm going to stop out right above 140 and a half.
Indexes are pulling back too right now.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, if you guys aren't charting the VIX, you definitely should start doing that, because a lot of times it will give you kind of a little bit of insight into what the indexes are going to do. They're inversely correlated, so indexes go up, usually VIX is going down. VIX is going up, indexes are going down. So VIX is one of the key things that I think a lot of traders don't focus on, and they should, because it just provides so much insight into what the market is expecting in terms of volatility. And that's something too that I'm going to cover tomorrow, is why I prefer taking puts instead of calls, because the VIX, once the VIX starts going up, you get a very nice IV boost in contract premiums. So if you're in puts and the market's tanking while the VIX is going up, you're literally getting just free juice from the VIX going up. You don't get that with calls, because the VIX is actually going down. So your contracts are fighting against an implied volatility drop. That's not to say that they can't go up, but I like taking puts. Man, what a tank. Did news drop or something? That's a pretty hefty pullback right there.
GLW hasn't even moved to the downside.
No, it's trying. Oh.
I mean, it's not that big of a drop yet.
It's more than 10 points in like 5 minutes.
It's true. Come on, GLW. Dump. It's not even dumping. Either the crash is going to be really hard, or bulls are just delusional on this one right now. I forgot who asked me about IBRX the other day, but that actually continues higher after that trend line breakout. I think somebody said they were in calls, and I said you should probably roll those out. So that was a good idea if you did roll those out. The one to watch right now is, I don't know if EPD is going to make a run right now after breaking its opening range, but it's still inside the opening range, and then stuff tends to sometimes rocket off of a opening range break. So we'll see if EPD can pull something like that off. The indexes are pulling back hard right now. Yeah, you're right. That is hard. And I don't know if just GLW attracted all the bulls for the morning, but it's struggling to fall. And I don't know why. Kind of frustrating, honestly.
Yeah, Polypicker Theta is obviously extremely aggressive on these. These are 0 DTEs. So yeah, we're fighting against time and the price going up. But as we said, these are lottos, so it's not the end of the world if we get stopped out.
You should only be playing it if you can afford to lose it all.
Patrick, did you sell for a loss, or did you end up selling for like break even? It's because I haven't sold yet. Yeah, you should go ahead and sell, and we'll see what happens with this with this stock.
Wait, which one is he holding?
GLW.
Oh. For the record, Fridays and especially OPEX like today are just really difficult days to trade. Like, sometimes it's better not even trading on these days, which is why I'm taking such a kind of a backseat right now in new plays for today. I'm kind of just managing what I already have. Wolf was obviously big. We'll see if GLW gets a drop. I don't know why it hasn't dropped already with the indexes. Maybe it's just attracting all the bulls today. And Yukon's just hit 30%. But I'm pretty just gonna manage what I already have. I may pick up a new leap later today. Now that he sold, it should drop now.
Yeah, it's frustrating, everybody. I really wanted to short from 69.15 to 69.20. We just did not quite get there. The VIX held that level, and from there it was just a little free-for-all on the indexes. There'll be other opportunities, though. Whoa. Who was the Oracle guy? Because it's right at 151 right now.
He said he shorted in the Discord.
Oh, he did?
Yeah. I think it was Corby? Oh, he just went short a minute ago.
Yeah, I think if you're short right now, you should be in a pretty good trade.
And
There's
it's a breakdown
gigantic
below the
volume.
opening range, yeah.
There's a gigantic volume spike on that fall through the open. Cisco. For January 27th. Did you? Oh, January of next year. Okay. Leaps are actually surprisingly cheap on that one. I was figuring that they'd be well over $1,000 for at the money. I know next to nothing about this company, so I cannot provide too much insight for you. That being said, from a technical standpoint, we might have like a little bit of a bear flag on Cisco, so if anything, you could probably take some short-term puts at the $80 level. I wouldn't take leaps yet until $80 is like actually claimed, because right now it's just a gamble on if it'll actually breach 80 and hold. So yeah, I would, from a charting perspective, I would wait. Maybe you know something more about the company. Maybe there's some expected news to come out relatively soon. But yeah, that's just my opinion from a technical standpoint. Man, GLW just refuses to tank.
That's what I'm saying, dude. The market is tanking.
Yeah, the market
it refuses to go
literally
down. It does not make sense. Maybe the bulls found a nice hiding place in there.
Yeah, I mean, SPX is down like 0.3 from the highs, and GLW is just not doing what we need it to do right now.
It's not listening, dude.
Yeah, Sarah, it is dropping right now. We're going to need it to drop a little bit faster just because we have a theta decay working against us right now, so it needs to drop like quick.
Kind of need a death candle, honestly. Sorry, I think somebody asked earlier in the chat where the UPS target is. I want 120 on UPS. Those are still for 2 weeks out, so I got plenty of time on those. Knees still sitting like right at that opening range, so It's kind of just sitting there. We'll see. If you guys haven't already, I would appreciate it if, for those of you who haven't, do subscribe to the channel. That way you can see the alerts pop up when I do start the live streams. That way I don't need to go posting it on every single social media, and you all just get the notification right then and there. Just makes it easier for everybody else. Yeah, UPS it's still sitting up right now. So I got in at 180, 181 to be exact. Last I checked, let me check the cons right now. Last I checked, they were sitting at 200-ish. Yeah, they're sitting at like 200-ish. They did climb up to 244 this morning. So if you did get a nice trim in, congrats. Man, indexes are dumping. Why won't GLW dump?
It's moving. It's moving. Not very fast, but
It's a drop further, dude. And quicker. I need to see your GLW puts her in the money.
oh, and Ondas is down 5% today.
Is it time to buy the dip? You still have Rocket Lab?
No. So I was telling Clint about this. I was in ASTS. I had over 2,000 shares of ASTS at $4, and I ended up selling my entire position at about 15 bucks. One of the biggest regrets of my life right there, but it is what it is. I made money. And then as far as Rocket Lab goes, I also found that one sub $10 and sold around 40. So I made significantly more on that one than I did ASTS, but nonetheless, like it just hurts seeing those spot prices every single morning. But I see a lot of similarities in Ondas, honestly, just the way that the overall story is.
JBLU is coming back down, by the way. What do they have? Engine failure or something?
Which stock?
JetBlue Airways.
Ooh, yeah, I have no clue on that one.
Yeah, traffic disrupted a couple days ago. Disrupted at Newmark Airport after JetBlue engine failure. Abraham in Discord needs a timeout.
What did Abraham do?
Abraham, what are you doing? Abraham. Bro's not crashing. Oh, bro is crashing out. Sort of.
Yeah, for SPX, I'm still sitting on my hands. There's just not really anything that I'm seeing from a gamma perspective and from a charting perspective. Like I said, I think if we do get to 69.15, I'll still look to go short, but other than that, it's just terrible.
Obviously, we don't want to fight market trend, but it is kind of odd today that the market was as much as it was, considering that GDP is down, inflation's still up, still problems in the Middle East, and the Supreme Court overruled or reversed the tariffs. It's just kind of odd that the market's green on all that. Not that I'm justifying that and saying, oh, short everything, it all needs to be shorted. It's just kind of off, in my opinion. It is OPEX today as well, which could play a role into it. OPEX normally tends to be pretty choppy. Sometimes it's just safer, especially on a Friday, to, number one, not go heavy on any positions whatsoever. Number two, don't expect the market to always go in the direction that you expect it to.
Nice drop on GLW right now, by the way, if you guys
It
are
is
still
dropping nicely, finally. Please die.
That being said, I am still red on my puts. Theta decay really is painful.
Not if they go in the money. He's melting just a fender bender.
Corby, if you're in the live stream right now, are you still short on Oracle? Yeah, that was a good short. I remember saying anything below like 151, 152, you can go short.
How far did that drop, dude?
Oracle?
Yeah.
It's at 150 right now.
Yikes.
Yeah, good trade, Corby. Thank you for alerting that to us this morning, because I never would have looked at Oracle.
Corby smooth. Somebody shorted Tesla. Now, who shorted against Elon? Yeah, it actually was a really nice short. $5 drop.
22 minutes ago, Corning is maintained a buy by UBS. They raised their price target from 125 to 160, so that could have some impact on why we're up 8%
Where
on
did you find
GLW.
that? Where did you find that?
This is on TradingView.
I did not see that on TradingView, dude.
It was 23 minutes ago.
Oh. Still shorted.
Yeah, who cares what UBS thinks?
I could
They don't
care
know
less
anything.
what UBS
They don't know
says.
anything.
Oh, it's a lotto. And it's going back up.
Yeah, I think the market might be going up too. Yeah, it is. I'm watching on the VIX here, everybody. I'm watching 1925-ish. See if this holds. The VIX did hold it previously, so we'll see if it holds again. Typically, on second retests, I find that it's about a 2/3 chance that it does hold, and it continues its previous move, which in this case it's up. So on the second retest, there's a 2 out of 3 chance that it does hold, and we continue upward. I would target, assuming it does hold, I would target 20 on the VIX, so I would expect further downside in the market if we do hold this level.
With that being said, I am going to go short here on Qs. I'm going to enter the 605 puts. They're around 0.70 right now. This is a lotto. It's a 605 around 0.772. Go light, obviously.
Abraham, you got back into GLW. Oh no. You may have timed the bottom on that move.
Fill the 0.74.
Clint and I are still holding Mason. Those GLW puts. I was at break even. Now I'm right again, but it's a lotto, so just got to be comfortable with losing these.
Still feels mostly inside day overall given the week, but scalpers eating good. Scalpers have been eating really good the past week. If you know what you're doing, obviously.
D-Lay, can you ban Abraham for a few days, please? He seems like a nice guy, but we can't take this shit anymore.
What?
D-Lay, we're not gonna ban him. If you want, you can mute him individually.
Wait, what is Abraham saying?
I haven't seen anything like.
I haven't seen anything.
Yeah,
Is
I
he
haven't seen
personally
anything egregious
DMing you
enough
and
to warrant a
threatening
ban.
you? It's your fault. This is such wonky price action.
Yeah, the VIX is still trying to hold that level. 69 or 1926.
I should check on EPD again.
Yo, we should set up a Clint options boxing ring, honestly. D-Lay and Abraham can just like go at it. We can just set that up as like an official event. Would you guys be down for that?
That would be wild. Oh, he was joking.
Yeah, we got you, D-Lay.
.72. It would be nice if EPD does break here and head up to 36.63, the R2 pivot. We'd still need to see a break over the opening range though. Just really have to be careful if you're taking any trades today.
Yeah, so 137 just recently really popped up on the gamma exposure for GLW, which typically indicates toward end of day. Dealers really like to pin price right where their largest gamma exposure is. Right now it's still 140, but 137 is very close behind in terms of overall gamma exposure by dealers. So that being said, I think we're still looking good for puts despite the chop.
All right, now add to the lotto.
Sway 6800 SPX, I think that's a little bit too far. Yeah, I mean, you would need a gigantic flush. You would literally need Trump to like drop a nuke or something.
Oh no, we used the wrong missile against Iran. Okay, now I add. What was that, 55?
Drop the bigger bomb.
The most beautiful nuke.
Oh, no, because he can't be wrong. So even if he did a drop a nuke.
Yeah, true. It
On
was
Iran?
right. It was
Yeah.
right. It was the right long.
We intended to nuke. I think Joe Biden put that missile in instead of the other one.
Yeah, Mason, you're right. If we do get a quick 50 cent to $1 move down, it'll pay. Right now, we're just pretty much just fighting theta, which is just increasing by the second.
Question is, can we get another drop? Or do we head back up to high of day?
SPX put in a higher low, so we'll see if it makes a higher high here, which if it does make a higher high, it would be right at my short target. Short entry target, that is. So yeah, we'll see here. That would also coincide with the VIX potentially forming a double bottom here at this key level that it held earlier at 1883.
By the way, if any of you are still holding Tiger, the Tiger calls just hit 0.19 again. I closed those yesterday. But they're back up to around break even. Let's take a look at EPD. EPD is still sitting at 36.34. Let's see how knee is doing. Knee is still sitting there at the top of the opening range. Let's see how UPS is doing. UPS came down, bounced, back up now. Let's see what the Qs are at. It's crazy because GLW didn't even really drop on that
Yeah, no.
pullback. Kind of sucks. It's a scalper's market. It's not even worth trading right now.
Still liking the look of shorts. 69.15, 69.20 on SPX.
Did I get stopped out of Qs? No, I'm not. I didn't get stopped out of Qs. It's a lotto. I'm really light. Anything I take on a Friday, guys, is a lotto. You guys all know this, especially if you've been with me for a while. It's all a lotto, which means that you should be playing it very light. You should not be heavy on anything played on Friday, ever. Whoever asked about PG to 160, you're coming up to 160 here, which is the R1 pivot. Just calling that out. Really not interested in playing anything else right now. The overall market's still pretty choppy. And what? Do you think it stays choppy until NVIDIA earnings?
Yeah. NVIDIA earnings, or, I mean, if Trump decides to strike Iran this weekend, we're definitely, I wouldn't say definitely. I think the market actually went up the Monday after Maduro was captured.
It was a success.
Yeah, it was a huge success. But yeah, there'll definitely be some movement, assuming that Trump does strike Iran this weekend. And I'm expecting a beat for NVIDIA earnings. And I think my whole thesis is that NVIDIA beats and the market rallies to a new all-time high, suckers in the bulls, and then we just flush. We get the little bit of a correction. And then probably around April-ish, I think that Trump is gonna either issue the stimmy checks that he's been talking about, or he'll implement some sort of fiscal policy that will drive the markets higher, because the market is one of Trump's biggest talking points when it comes to his whole campaign. So if he doesn't have a strong market to brag about into midterms, the Republicans are going to get swept, and obviously he does not want that. So it's in his best interest to keep the market strong. So I think a little bit of a dip after the market creates a new all-time high, and then obviously buy that dip.
Well, if the Dow doesn't make all-time highs, what's Pam Bondi going to use as an excuse next year?
Yeah, exactly.
The Dow is at an all-time high.
Did our politicians rape your children?
Maybe, but the Dow's at all-time high.
Check on Palantir. Yeah, I mentioned earlier that Palantir, when I said it would possibly come retest the opening range before going up again. It's actually retesting the previous high day again, so we'll see if it can break that. If it can't, then it'll probably head right back down. The Qs are grinding higher right now. I may have to get stopped out of these puts. It's kind of ridiculous, honestly. You're right, though. We'd probably strike Iran, and then market will still be great.
Yep, that's how it goes.
It was the best strike ever.
Puts getting obliterated. Yeah, they're down like 50% right now. Why are SPX puts so expensive? They seem like extra expensive today. I don't know why.
Probably just because of OPEX. I mean, the VIX is down 7%, so they should be cheap right now, but they are not. I'm actually taking a stab here on SPX puts, 68.90. Average is 7.30. Be extremely careful. Obviously, it's Friday. It's a 0 DTE. It's OPEX. It's an expensive contract.
Testing day high. Yeah, we're testing the day high right now. We'll see if we come back down. We haven't even seen a red candle. What's even dragging it up right now? Is it NVIDIA? It's probably Apple. Yeah, it's Apple. Apple's dragging everything up right now.
All right, up $100 right now on this SPX shorts.
Apple is going wild. It's having a wild day. What goes up must come down, right? I wish that were the case in the stock market. It would make things so much easier.
I have a limit sell on this SPX put at 8.5. We'll see if I get filled.
All right, if GLW doesn't drop here, I'm going to close it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Since it doesn't want to drop with the overall market, but then will continue going up when the market goes up. What's that? I have a client meeting in 30 minutes. The market will move then. Did PG break 160? No, we hit 160. We hit that pivot, so there's the R1 pivot. We hit it. We'll see if we break. I think layman and the uninformed are now getting informed that a strong stock market does not reflect a strong economy. Yeah, it seems to be the case nowadays. The economy really isn't that strong, as much as everybody's saying it is.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and close out my GLW here.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous.
Still short on SPX. I never got my limit fill at 8.5.
No, I'm not selling the QQQ puts unless we see a new high day. If we see a new high day, I'll close them. I think Apple's playing a big role right now in keeping this market up, though. It's had a pretty strong move up since earlier this morning. It's like 2.5% in the last, 2 hours, 2.5 hours. So I definitely blame it on Apple right now.
As far as the QQQ goes, 610 is just the largest scam exposure spot for dealers right now. So typically those can overshoot by about 50 cents. So like 610 and a half would be my stop out point if you're in Q puts.
I'll be right back. I'll give it up to you.
Okay. Anybody has any other charts they want us to look at? Just let us know in the chat. On Zscaler. Polypicker on the 1 minute, Qs are consolidating at the same of day high. Let's look. Yeah, it's this level right here, the 610. That's also the highest dealer concentration spot. So it's a huge point of interest for dealers as well as obviously traders that are trying to trade a breakdown or break above this previous high of day. So right now we're just penned. The VIX really needs to hold this key level here, 1883. Ideally break above 1926, and we'll see a downside flush. Yeah, I'd probably look toward this previous low of day here, like 606. Thoughts on Zscaler? My concern with Zscaler is that it's software, and I don't know if you remember, but all software names took a gigantic hit not too long ago. I believe it was the start. Yeah, it was up in here when the whole AI news came out about how there's now agents that can literally do what these software companies do without human involvement. And so it kind of makes software names irrelevant if these AI agents can be as accurate as humans. So my concern with Zscaler for earnings is that they issue lower guidance as companies start to cancel contracts with them because they can just use AI agents. I'm sure that they'll do fine this past quarter in terms of revenue, and they'll probably beat, quite honestly. But what really matters is their guidance. and I can definitely see them issuing lower guidance than what the market is currently anticipating, which obviously is going to cause the stock to tank. As far as charting perspective, like 163, 164 for the downside. There's a level up at about 200 as well. 198 to 200. Yeah, so honestly, I'm not going to touch that one. But long term, yeah, you just really need to be cognizant of the AI disruption. So if you have shares in this company or any cybersecurity software related stocks, just be very, very careful. Cloudflare, Zscaler, Datadog, companies like that. Oh wow, SPX, nice. We'll go ahead and take profit there. Sold out at, I got filled at 8.8, so that was a 20% move, 150 bucks. Hopefully you guys took that. That was a good trade.
Okay, I'm back. Did we dump?
A little bit. We dumped enough for me to make money.
What are you in, SPX?
Yeah, I took an SPX short.
Just fall off a cliff already, man. GLW's in the money, technically.
Dude, are you serious? That's
Look.
Hey, I
Go
was
look
the
at
catalyst.
GLW. Go look
Yeah,
at
I know.
GLW.
I see that. We're at 138.94. Anybody still in GLW, you can thank me for selling out for a loss.
Our sell catalyst, Raphael.
Hey, I redeemed myself with that XPX short.
It's true. It's true. EPD, if you guys are looking over at the screen, EPD is now sitting at 36.41. Those calls are back up to. Oh wow! Actually, I'm gonna start. Shorts. Now we can drop further. I think.
Wow, those cons are now at almost 11 bucks.
Jeez. Okay. Perfect. Nice. How much further do you think to the downside we have?
Not much. Gamma's showing 68.95 as a possible support for SPX.
Okay.
So as you guys can see, I called chop earlier this morning, and we have done pretty much nothing. I mean, we've grinded higher, but if you were in calls this morning, you have definitely not beaten Theta.
Breaking news: nobody has won.
Yeah, scalpers. I think somebody in the chat was mentioning scalpers are the only ones making money today, and that is correct.
Scalpers and sellers win. Thank you for playing.
Yeah, be careful about holding those Qs, puts.
Yeah.
The slightest little bounce and those things are going to be cooked. So definitely have a trailing stop loss right now.
Please don't cook me.
Yeah, GLW is absolutely falling off a cliff.
Dude, I need a calculator. Hold on. 2 plus 1 equals.
So OPEX day is options expiration. So it's every third Friday of the month. It happens on a monthly basis as well as a quarterly basis. So every 3 months, there will be one Friday, one OPEX, where monthly options expire and weekly options expire. And that day is usually extremely volatile. So when options expire, institutions place their options bets months in advance. So some of the options expiring today were bought probably back in November or December, or sometimes even earlier than that. But oftentimes there's just a ton of volatility because price will tend to gravitate toward those huge institutions buying levels for options. So typically OPEX just produces volatility, chop volatility. It's very, very rarely going to be a trend day on OPEX. Yeah, so I would expect a reversal here within the next probably 5 points on SPX. I would say 68.90 is the floor.
It also makes sense too because R2 pivots down here on Qs for a good bounce possibly. Though the Qs puts are sitting at break even after my 2 average downs. If you guys want to take profit on those or just reduce position sizing, it would probably be smart to do that.
Now, assuming we get back to the previous double top, I would actually probably look to go long. It's very rare that a triple top forms. We'll see what gamma exposure shows when we get back up there, if we get back up there, but I would not try to take puts off, for the 3rd time off of that previous 5 day.
And his name is John.
I don't know why that randomly came to my head.
Nice, David.
Yo, Alonso, 130% on PG. Nice.
Sheesh.
I'm only 8% on GLW. Well, it's a lotto, so you can probably hold more. Oh, trim Qs, trim Qs. Nice. Trim le QQQ. Those are over, those are like 30% right now. W dumping. 0.66. I would definitely trim those.
I put a limit buyout for an SPX call, 68.95, 0 DTE. My limit buy set at $12. And I just got filled.
Dump. Yeah,
I think it's about now or never if we're going to get a bounce, so that's why I taken a call here, trying to play the bounce.
Q's at 0.72, trim. Yeah, I think you're right. I think it might be time to look at longs in a second. $0.74. There's a reason why I said leave room to add. 0.76, 0.77. But definitely trim those. It's like 50%, by the way. 81, 82, 83, 86, 88, 87. Trim more, trim more. Okay, you should be out. We're up 70% now, so you should be out. good portion. It doesn't matter where you entered there. It should be good. I think Raphael's right, though. I think by the end of this, I think it'll be a good chance to possibly go long. Con's at 93. Should be trimming more. Here's that dump I was talking about. GLW, I think, also is dumping. Got a notification on that one as well. Yeah, GLW is pulling back as well. Probably look to take profit on those. It's not dumping as much as the indexes, but the Q's definitely got that drop that I was expecting. 97, Con's at 100. 102, 105, 110, 111. We're dropping. Okay, and get ready to go long soon. You should be approaching 117. Okay, you should be out most now. Should be out most of those Qs. That's 125%. Up to 117. $122. Man, we're crashing hard. Nice. Good job, everyone who caught those with us.
Yeah, it looks like I was early on the bounce. Still in my trade. I'm red, obviously, but we're holding.
So from my average down, that's 135%. It doesn't matter where. If you got in at the 0.75, you made a disgusting amount of money too. It doesn't matter where you got here.
If 75 breaks, 875 breaks on SPX, I would cut, but you can probably add all the way down to there.
Good money, good money. Yeah, 30% on GLW. I want to see all those profits in the profits channel. So, what would be nice here is if the indexes could bounce and GLW keeps falling.
Dream situation right there. Let's see. Yeah, so if you aren't in SPX calls yet, you could take, if we get back down to like 75, you could try to scalp, take a call there with the stop under like 680.70. I figured we would bounce in the zone at like 68.90. We did not. We fell right through. But yeah, that would be the next spot I would look for longs. It'd be 68.75 on SPX, which we're approaching right now.
Dump GLW. There we go. Take profit. Take profit on the GLW cons. I'm going to go today without a loss. Thank you, everyone, for trusting me. I love you guys.
All right, this is the spot to go long here if it's going to bounce. Stop under 70. Yeah, so on GLW, by the way, I just checked the gamma exposure. 137 is now the largest node, so 140 was still the ceiling, and yeah.
GLW, dude. Tanking. I only have one con on GLW. Would you get? Yeah, I would sell it right now. You're looking at 190. That's like 90%. I would definitely sell those. Or sell the one you have. It's fine. It may run more, but I mean, still, like that's crazy gains for today. That's 190. Should have made like $90 on that, I think. Yeah, that's like 90%. Nice. Nice. Okay, so exactly what I was expecting. It took about... how long did that take us, dude? Like 40 minutes for that all to play out, the downside? It was about 40 minutes. What originally we had anticipated for a downside move did actually end up coming. Now the question is... long side. Do bulls step in here? That's the question now. Stop loss goes to break even if you have more than one con on GLW, by the way. Alright, go ahead and trim more of those Qs puts as well. Because they're up to 187 now. 185. I trimmed some at 175. What would the target be to the upside, Orvo?
For an upside move?
SPX or QQQ, like what would the upside move be if we did bounce?
If we did bounce, probably 90.
Okay.
60 to 90. If we're going to bounce, which we're like right at my stop loss right now.
It's also worth noting that we're right at the opening range as well here. The high of the opening range. A lot of bounces tend to happen at the top of the opening range, coming back down, retesting. We'll see if we get that. By the way, you should definitely be out of most of your puts on both Qs and GLW. Those are over like 100% each. The Qs are alone are up 255% right now. So literally no excuse why you should be holding any of those right now. If you got in at the 0.75 entry, great. Good job. Nice job. It doesn't matter where you got. You're over like 200%, I think. 280. I just have runners. Great. 200 casual 280% on Q's puts.
Yeah, those SPX puts, by the way, those things went crazy. Let me see what they're at right now. Yeah, those are at $3,000 right now.
That's insane.
Yeah, my average price was, what was it? It was low. It was 12. So yeah, you'd be up almost 3x on your money.
puts. Question is, one more play, please. Somebody's cracking out the whip on me. More plays. Is 280% not enough? Oh, that's right. I was supposed to do 1,000% today.
Yeah. Right.
Let's see. All right, how much more downside? That's the question. That is the question. What's GLW doing? Ooh, tanky. Those as well. Please don't bounce. Please go to hell. Go 4. Maybe I'll trim if we come down here to like 137. Can't be forcing more plays. That's how you lose. That is exactly how you lose. Especially considering the fact that we already got the big move down. All right, I'm just going to fully close the QQQ puts. I'll trust you more if I get a QQQ call. Are you serious? I alerted 3 shorts on Qs. I was even averaging down because I had high confidence that we'd have a larger pullback.
Yeah, I'd call SPX puts too.
That's what I'm saying. We were both shorting.
If you want to go long, I would go long now. I mean, we're at low of day.
It's true. This would be ideal. What percent of your contracts do you trim each time? It's Friday, so I'm really light, so I only trim about like a quarter per trim alert that you see on Discord. Unless you got out early, which I don't know why you would have gotten out early. They were lottos. You have to, on a Friday, you have to be able to afford to lose all that. That's how you see these massive percentage gains. Stuff like this moves crazy on these days. People invest for 10 years for these percentage gains. Yeah, you're right. Just sold GLW put for 2.00. Nice. I better see everybody posting those gains in the profits channel. Please. I'd love to see all that money. Please clear your schedules to do this every day. Honestly, that's what we were saying. Like, we want to do this, more often. All right, I'm going to fully close my Qs. Puts are here, by the way. They're at 250. I'm out. It'll probably drop more, but I'm going to close it all right now. I'm going to go back over to EPD in a second because I think those cons are back up as well. A casual 380%.
It was a great drop.
The biggest.
The
most
biggest,
beautiful.
most beautiful drop.
Am I still holding cues? Don't do this to me, please. Don't do this to me. Glad I profited, but I'm having FOMO. Would be up almost a band if I held puts. Yeah. Did you call out GLW and QQQ on Discord? I did. Yes, I called it out on Discord and the live stream, and went. We were both pretty red on those, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we were
I know,
both
we were-
pretty
we were
red
holding-
on that position for a good 40 minutes. Actually, we were waiting. We were waiting for that drop to take place for a while. The thesis behind the Qs was obviously like averaging down. The first one was the R2 pivot. And then once we blasted through that, I figured that it would be fair to add at the high of day for a possible double top. And sure enough, we got the double top. So, and I clarified that as well. Still holding steady on JBLU. Let's take a look at my JBLU position. Yeah, I'm still holding those. That's a swing for later. Do you see anything right now? Other than possibly going long?
Not really, no.
Huge drop. Yes, it was a huge drop.
The biggest, some would say it was the biggest drop we've had to date. No other president has ever
Can't say caused.
experienced such a drop.
Oh, EPD. My bad, folks. EPD cons are back up to 0.11. Those are actually getting ready to go in the money right now. 36.49. That's the lotto, obviously, from yesterday. But I mean, if this breaks out even further, it could be huge. Clint options, when you get tired of trading, you could be a voice actor.
W.
Some would say the best voice actor ever.
No, I'm like horrible at it. I'm not even that good. I try. Do you think ABR might go to the moon before 4 p.m.? Let's take a look. No, I don't think it'll go to the moon before 4 p.m. Unfortunately, it sucks because it actually was up really nicely this morning. It had that 2% move up to the calls went back in the money. Actually, it really sucks that it didn't break that opening range, because that would have been big. That would have been huge. It's another shit British joke. Oh no, did I fall into a British joke?
Oh no.
Did I actually just fall into a British joke? I don't understand the joke, so you'd have to probably explain that one to me.
So both of us knew a guy from Britain. He had like the driest sense of humor. Like we could never tell when he was joking. So I guess it's just a thing with Brits. I don't know.
Wait, what was this, Dylan?
Dylan.
Yeah, Dylan.
Dylan, my boy.
But yeah, he ended up moving to Alabama, so haven't heard too much from him.
Did I miss any other questions for charting?
I did Zscaler.
Okay.
I haven't seen anything else.
Illuminati says go long on McDonald's.
Nice bounce on SPX if you took that.
Still in QQQ. I know it was a joke. I just find it funny. Every time I see it in the chat, it's just funnier. It was a good one. EPD calls were down. That lotto, anything. Those lottos from this morning dropped all the way down to 0.03. It's a lotto, so I kept holding. They're back up to 0.11. It would be awesome if we climbed another 10 cents. Is Q's reversing? Yeah, so there's a bounce right now. What's the most important thing to watch right now on Q's is we fell below the opening range, right? Which is never a good sign once you lose the opening range, high or low, depending on the trend. Now, because then you have to re-break back to the upside, right? Here's the bigger problem we have right now. The R1 pivot is right above, is like 20 cents up from the opening range high. So we need to break both the opening range and the R1 pivot to get back into like a bullish trend. If we did break, I think if we get back above 606, we could climb back up to new high of day. What do you think, Rafael?
What was your?
If we break like 606, do you think we could head back up to high of day, like for a triple top and then break it?
Yeah, I would say that's definitely possible. 606 has to break on Q's cam exposure as well. There's a big spot at 606, so we need to break that.
Ooh, somebody played BP. Nice. I really want EPD to break here. Ooh, 36.53. EPD's actually going for it. I think I might have a chance to trim these lottos. Pounds are at 0.12.
Q's are trying to get into 606, breaking through now. See if it holds.
No, it wouldn't be a break over 606 unless we see a candle hold.
Yeah, we need that. I trade on the 3 minutes. We need a 3 minutes to hold above. We did initially break, but right now we're rejecting it, so that's not ideal. We'll see though.
Yo, dude, Corby was up 416% on Oracle shorts.
Sheesh. Yeah, congrats on Oracle. Yeah, what did I say this morning? It was under 151. Yep. It was a very nice trade there, Corby.
Clint options. Is it possible for you to post a tutorial on how to use your 3 custom indicators on TradingView? Yeah, actually, I can do that. I can create a video. There's a couple videos that I do have that I'm working on right now. The first one is a guide to a Discord community. Just an overall breakdown on how to use the channels and get yourself set up. But I can for sure make a separate video on how to use those custom indicators. The big one, of course, I want everybody to understand. That way you guys can trade on your own as well. Is the opening range. I feel like the opening range is the most important one that everybody should at least familiarize themselves with. So.
Yeah, if Qs can break 606 here, we're going to move pretty quick to 68.90 on SPX, I think. The problem is that VIX is still kind of holding $20, which is a key level on my chart, as well as a psychological value. So, yeah.
When you say breakthrough price point, you mean that candle needs to close over that price point? Yeah, then it's like what Raphael was saying. He uses the 3 minute. I like to use the 5 minute. You wait for those candles to break above that level and hold. The close of that candle needs to hold above. That's what we mean when we say break and hold. Maybe I should look for one more setup. Let's see, APA, BP. Yeah, for sure, I'd SE. Best Buy is down almost 5% today. Is that just a random drop?
Let's try it again. It looks like everybody at 606. There's a lot of gamma exposure that keeps gaining on the upside, so I'm still bullish. Like I said, the 606 is a must break on Qs. Yeah, Polypicker, the opening range is the high and low with the first 15-minute candle.
$175 billion in potential tariff refunds. Yikes. And guess who's going to pay for it? Not the government.
That would be us, the taxpayers.
Ay.
Actually, it'll be Mexico.
Mexico is going to pay for it. No, we're going to acquire Greenland, and Greenland will also pay for it.
You know who could pay for it?
Venezuela.
Yeah, I just saw that too. He is holding a press briefing. He's just going to rant against the Supreme Court, guarantee you.
Oh, yeah.
By the way, for the record, I just hate politicians in general. It's everybody. Republican, Democrat. I think they all work for the same.
Whoever is in power, I mean, everybody loses.
That's what I mean.
There is no winning.
Just got to play with the politics that you are, the policies that you are handed.
Yes. Okay, 606 is actually weakening on Gex right now, so that's good if you're looking for upside. 68.90 is really growing on SPX, so I think we're going to get a break above 606 here.
Give us Canadians our money back. Nah, I don't think we need to give the Canadians anything back. We can keep the money from the Canadians. I mean, how much did we profit from Canadian tariffs anyways?
I have no clue.
Can you look that up on, let me see if I can look that up on the Bureau of Economics. Data should be under, where would you find that? I feel like the only website you would find that on is the BEA. By topic, maybe. Not GDP by industry. International trade and investment. Maybe tariffs in here. I like woke up and I couldn't breathe this morning.
Oof.
Oh, how's silver doing? Oh, it's back above 80. Do you see TradingView indicator to see gamma exposure? That's a question for Raphael.
Yeah, so for gamma exposure, I use a software called Skylit. It is extremely expensive. I do not expect you guys to go out and pay for that, so that's why I try to use it. I can't share any of those charts. I don't have permission yet. Behind the scenes stuff, kind of working on it. We'll see if down the line I could post those charts for you guys, because that would be huge. But yeah, I use gamma exposure a lot in my trades. It really helps to add confidence. I'll probably set up a live stream explaining that sometime in the near future. But yeah, to answer your question, there is no indicator for TradingView. It's literally a entire another program that I have open.
Clint Options, just a suggestion. Is it possible for us to have a different channel for ETFs? No, I prefer keeping that all in the VIP options. And then Raphael, obviously, under his tag of Zenith Trades, keeps his stuff under Analyst Trades. It's just easier that way, because if I try to have as least channels as necessary. Did I say that right? Did that make sense?
As few channels?
Yeah, as
as
few
possible,
channels
or
as
necessary.
possible. I'm having a stroke. As few channels as possible.
Sheesh.
That
Hey,
was
we're
bad.
good. We're good.
That was bad. As few channels as possible in the Discord, just so that everybody can. It's easy for everybody to find exactly what each channel's for. Like VIP options is specifically and strictly for options trading only. That includes the indexes and any other like swing trades I take. And then of course the crypto goes in the crypto channel, futures go in the futures channel, sports betting goes in sports betting channel, etc. What did I even say?
I have no clue. Oh, you're talking about channels,
Yeah.
number of channels.
Yeah, dude, that was bad. And we're like sitting slightly above 606.
Yeah, I know, it's so frustrating. I think now it's because of the VIX. If the VIX breaks 20, we're off to the races. We're gonna go flying. But yeah, I'm still in those calls that I entered about 30 minutes ago. I held through like a 50% drawdown. I'm still down 10% on those, but
Bro likes playing it dangerous on a Friday.
yeah, I'm basically a masochist right now.
Brother's trying to get me to buy another motorcycle.
Who is?
Chris.
Oh, of course he is.
Like sending me a Kawasaki Ninja 2021. It is a 500? Oh, it's a 650. For $4,000? Hey, Miles. 52,000 miles? On a bike that's
And
4
we're
years
breaking,
old?
We are breaking. I'm out. Oh my goodness. Sheesh. $1,000 profit right there.
That's a nice break to the
That
upside right
was
there.
extremely stressful. What'd I say? VIX broke 20, and Q's broke 606.
W.
Gamma exposure does not lie. Neither does the VIX.
It's like a whole dollar move up in a minute.
I knew it was gonna happen. I just was way off of my entry.
Do you think we go to high of day from here?
That is a good question.
Yeah. APD. Go ahead and trim those. And that's probably it for me today. 0.14 was the high.
Yeah, if you guys are in Q's calls off of that call, like a break above 606, just be cognizant that right now we are coming right back down into 606. Gamma exposure, 608 looks like the ceiling on Q's. There's one at 687 for SPY, so you don't have too much room to the upside on SPY. And then SPX still is 6890 is lighting up, so yeah, there's probably a little bit of upside left, but yeah, if we break back below 6875 on SPX, there's a gigantic air pocket, and I would see 6850 as a downside target. Sheesh, man, I guess that was a liquidity sweep right there. Good thing I took profit. Corby, are you still in those Oracle shorts? Because it just keeps tanking. Polypicker, no, I don't right now. That's something that I will be working on in the future. Stay tuned for that. But that's yeah, in the future, absolutely, there will be something up for that. Yeah, that makes sense as to why there's just crazy volatility. Okay, well, it looks like we are pumping. I thought that was an initial liquidity sweep back below 600 for a flush, but nope, it looks like we're continuing up. So Trump is talking right now. I'm not sure exactly how long his conference is going to last. I would not take any trades while he's talking. Anything can happen. I mean, he can say the wrong thing and the market tanks about 0.5%. You just get an absolute death candle. So yeah, once he's finished talking, depending on where we're at, for SPX, 6850 looks to be the floor, and then 6890 would be a good intermediate target, and the absolute ceiling would be 6920. As of right now, obviously these can change, especially if Trump says something crazy. The game of maps are going to reshuffle at light speed. But yeah, so for now, target 6850 to the lows, and then the absolute highs would be 6920, and then 6890 would be a good intermediate target. For SPY, 685 is the floor. And I'm not seeing too much upside on SPY, actually. 687 is the largest gamma node, and we're like right there right now. So, and then for the Qs, we have a ceiling at 608 and 609. If we get above that, look for 610. I am biased to the downside, especially given that who knows what's going to happen this weekend. It's a Friday, it's OPEX, and Trump may decide to get aggressive with Iran, to say it nicely. So if that were to happen, oil's going to shoot to the moon, and the markets will probably open red on Monday. So that being said, I'm going to head off. I think Clint's going to hang around for a little bit longer, but I will probably alert an SPX or SPY lotto put as we get toward market close, just in anticipation of a possible Iran strike this weekend. Congrats if you played GLW. I ended up selling for a loss. I did not trust the gamma maps, even though I should have. They were clear as day, and obviously if you guys held, you made a good amount of money. So
yes, thank you.
Right,
thank you for selling.
Yeah.
Thank you for selling.
Yeah. And then if you took that SPX put with me, you made good money. If you took calls and you could stomach the 40% drawdown, you also profited. And then I know Clint was alerting Qs puts, and you guys all did really well on that. So all in all, that was a great Friday. And yeah, I'll be back next Monday. And oh yeah, stay tuned tomorrow. I'm gonna post a announcement in Discord about the time for the live stream. But yeah, stay tuned for that.
Awesome.
All right, see you guys.
Thank you, Raphael. Like Raphael said, he will be doing that live stream tomorrow. Turns out he was definitely right here about a move up from 606. We're now approaching 608 on Qs. Really, we caught both sides today. Of course, Raphael caught that upside move. I was not in that upside move just now. But we both caught the top for the most part today. GLW obviously had a nice drop today. Wolf calls this morning ran for 130%. EPD is slowly climbing back up right now. Overall, this was a really successful Friday. Yeah, and you're not going to see many people pull off Fridays this good. I'll do if I have time later at market close, I'll do like a brief market recap. But for the rest of the day, I mean, yeah, we've caught those moves today, but really I would expect more, just continued chop. The market is waiting for, Nvidia earnings. We're still waiting to see what happens with Iran. There's some uncertainty right now, and as a result, the market continues chopping. And like I said, for tomorrow, Raphael will be holding his live stream. He will post the time for that later today. If you do take any other positions today, I would recommend, as always, on a Friday, go very light. I may take one more position later after lunch. Probably be a cheaper contract, another lotto to hold into close for fun. So just keep an eye out for that. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. I know a lot of you come over from X and Discord, but I would appreciate if you guys subscribed here on YouTube. It just helps with the overall, notifications. That way, when I do start the live streams on here, you do get a YouTube notification for that, and can hop in and ask any questions. If you guys have any other charts or analysis that you want, done in the Discord, go ahead and just type it in there, and I'll get to it, or one of our mods or analysts will get to it when we get a chance. As for memberships that in the VIP that still don't see the VIP channels, you can open a ticket. The common issue is your email addresses. Your email address on WAP has to match the email address that you use on Discord for your Discord account. If you do not have the same email, you will not have access, and you will probably need to open a support ticket and either figure that out manually, or maybe we could do something on our end to get it set up. Yeah, with that all being said, thank you everyone for tuning in today. It was a lovely day, some crazy gains. And thanks again to Raphael. And we will catch you all later. Have a good one. Have a good weekend.